vacation is complete without a trip to the Toronto Zoo, and we are starting our visit today at the Sharks at Stingray Bay exhibit. Joining me is Sophie. Hey Sophie, how are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having us here at the Toronto Zoo.
Thanks for coming.
So you are with the living exhibits. What is your role here?
Yeah, I'm the keeper here, and also I maintain the system that controls the water temperature and the environment for the animals to make sure that they're all healthy and happy and loving life.
Okay, good. And how long has this exhibit been here at the Toronto Zoo?
It's been here for, I think it's the 6th year.
Oh, wow.
The 6th season. And yeah, we love it here, and a lot of the people come and they like to touch the animals. It's really great.
So something that's different about this one is that it's one of the only interactive exhibits at the zoo, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So you come here and you can touch the animals, you can feed the stingrays. They're really awesome, very calm and friendly animals, and contrary to maybe the taboo of the scary sharks. So yeah, it's really good for people to come and learn about them. And
so it's not only stingrays, but there is a large shark right there. Yeah. So what do we find here in this enclosure?
Well, we have 5 species in the pool. We have the nurse shark, which is this guy right here. We also have another nurse shark as well. We have 4 bamboo sharks, which are a smaller species of shark, over hiding in that log there. And we have the cow-nosed stingrays, which you see swimming around here. Those are the ones with the pointed wings. And they're very quick sometimes. And then we also have some southern rays, which are a larger, flat, pancake-shaped ray. And then as well, we actually have some tropical fish, which are yellow tangs. So.
And they're in here too?
Yep.
Oh, do they not, the animals in there don't eat the small fish?
No, we feed them really well. They're totally fine with them. It's just to add to kind of their environment, give them a little bit of visual interest, and make it seem maybe more natural for them.
So you said that they're quick, and there's definitely some coming right at us real fast. How fast do these things swim?
Well, I actually don't know the exact speed that they swim up to, but they can go pretty fast. Like if you startle them, they'll shoot away. Like
if you what at them?
If you startle them?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you were to touch their tail, it's a very sensitive area, and they'll swim away really quickly, and you can see like how fast they would go.
So you said that they seem like quite a social animal. How do they behave with each other?
Yeah, the cow-nosed stingrays actually travel in fevers. So these fevers can reach up to 10,000 individuals in the wild.
Wow.
And they often swim with each other in what looks like as if maybe a school of fish would do similar kind of behavior in that respect. Yeah, I mean, and you can see if you touch them that they're just really friendly, like they like to be touched. Oh, just really gently along the back, and they have really soft skin, like very sensitive, and
so I noticed as they're swimming up, sometimes you can see kind of there, like the fin will stick out of the water. It looks like a shark.
Yeah, for sure, that's true. Actually, I think in the wild they can sometimes be mistaken as sharks, because when they flap upward, their wingtips will come out of the water like that.
Yeah, it looks like a dorsal fin.
A little bit like a fin. Yeah, exactly. But they're very friendly. In the wild, they would have a barb at the base of the tail.
Yeah.
And here we trim the barbs so they couldn't sting you if they wanted to, but I've never even seen a stingray here attempt to sting anybody.
Oh, wow.
They only use it in self-defense,
So it's overall safe, good for children to come in.
Absolutely,
and
for sure. We get a lot of kids coming in, and I think it's a really cool experience for them to be able to actually interact with the animals.
Yeah, that's really neat, because in the wild we wouldn't find these up in Atlantic Canada. Where are they found in the wild?
Well, they're mostly found in warmer tropical waters, in shallow and deep waters, the cow-nosed rays. And the southern rays would be more in the shallower type area. And it's because the way that they feed is by sucking shellfish and stuff out of the sand. So the mouths are on the bottom of the face right here.
And you are not afraid to touch those.
And they'll be able to detect shellfish and stuff buried in the sand, and then they can use these little palps on their face to suck the shellfish out. That's a bamboo shark.
Yeah,
right there.
That's so cool. He's very pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those guys are pretty friendly too.
So they like to eat shellfish, and you have some here for us to feed them?
Yeah, absolutely. We have here some shrimp and
a little peel and eat.
capelin. Yeah. We also feed them mackerel and squid here.
That's a nice diet. That's what I like to eat too.
A nice balanced diet. And the way that you feed them is you just put the shrimp in between your fingers like this.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then you put it in the water here, nice and low so you can see.
Oh!
And just suck it right out of your hand.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty terrified.
Don't be
scared. Is it gonna bite? Can it bite? Does it hurt?
No. They have teeth, but they're plate-like and they're like way inside the mouth, and they have to suck the food into their mouth and then they grind it up. So you're in no danger of being bitten.
Man. I'm shaking. Okay. Oh, it's a shark coming. Oh my God.
Don't feed the shark.
Don't feed the shark. Don't feed the shark.
Those guys do have teeth.
Oh.
So just. Oh.
I know. I'm scared. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
There you go.
Oh my God, I dropped it.
You got it.
Oh. Okay, so what hours is this exhibit open?
It's open from 10:30 to 6 every day. And yeah. Feel free to come by anytime.
I will come
We
by.
also have some baby
Maybe another
stingrays,
day.
which are adorable.
Yeah,
and,
so some stingrays have been born here, right?
They have in the past. These ones were not born here.
No. Oh my gosh, look at the size of this one. How much does that weigh?
I would say she weighs probably between maybe 30 to 40 pounds. Not that heavy.
Yeah, like a couple of my dogs. So have the rays like the ones that are in the wild that maybe live in like the Gulf of Mexico, and with the oil spill, was there any like effect that it was having on them, eating the crustaceans?
You know, I'm not really sure. I expect if there was an oil spill there, that there would probably be some kind of adverse effect. Yeah. But I don't really know the details.
No. Well, that's just something you don't think about all the time, but really like
for sure.
There's a lot of
definitely are rays in that bay in that area, so I'm sure the wildlife was affected there.
Yeah, a lot of adverse effects on the wild animals. Okay, well they're really friendly, nice and waving. Hello. Don't know how I feel about them, but it's very fun. It's been good times. Okay. Well, we are going to go check out some penguins after this. So thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for coming. Enjoy the penguins.
Thanks so much. Michelle, and we are back at the Toronto Zoo, and we are now at the Endangered African Penguin exhibit. And joining me is the keeper, Elyse. Hi, Elyse.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent, thank you. How's your day going so far?
Amazing. It's going amazingly. It's great weather. I love it.
So you are the keeper here of the African penguins. How many penguins do we have here in this exhibit?
So on exhibit right now we have about 12. We also have 3, babies. One of them is quite full grown now, so he's not as much of a baby. But they're actually just behind that black fencing there. Okay. So we'll maybe check those out later.
So why are the babies kept away from the rest of the penguins?
So the 2 babies that are quite young still, so they're about 8 weeks, they haven't lost all their down yet. So they can't go swimming, so they can't live out with the adults because they would have access to a pool. So we have to teach them how to swim, and then they can kind of hang out with the adults. And then the one, Eldon, who's a couple months now, he's about almost 4 months, he can go in with the adults. We're working on that, but he hasn't seen penguins. He was raised from hatch, so just from when he was very, very little. So we want to make sure that the interaction is positive with the other penguins, just to make sure everybody gets along and no one picks on him. So that's why he's not living with them.
So how do you slowly introduce them?
It's kind of a step-by-step process. So we did start just by having visual access, so using kind of gates like those black gates over there, so he could kind of see through them, but they couldn't actually reach him. But now we're on kind of step 2 of our phase, where in the mornings before we let everyone out, he gets to just hang out in the room with them, and it's supervised. Yeah. So that's going pretty well, I guess, so far. We're eventually going to move on to stage 3, which is kind of he just living with them. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so we just heard them making some very interesting noises. That was coming from the penguins, right?
Yes, that's right. So basically what's happening is they're all getting really territorial. Everybody has their own little territory over there. So you're going to hear a call right now. This is actually why they're called jackass penguins as well, because they sound like a donkey.
Totally do.
Yes. So they're just reestablishing territories, just getting in each other's faces a little bit, but this is all very natural, very normal for them.
Is that the male penguins making that noise, or is it both male and female?
They both do make the noise. It's mainly the males, but you can hear it from the female as well.
So now penguins, they mate for life or for a long time, is that true?
They do mate for life. So basically, they also take care of their babies together. They share the responsibilities. So they'll share sitting on the egg. They'll share feeding the chicks. They'll share the responsibility of guarding the chicks. It's all shared. It's very romantic.
Yeah, that's quite nice. It's not like he's the main fish catcher.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, everybody shares the duties, and they will try to stay together for life. But they tend to. That's right. Yeah, they tend to stay paired. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, they will tend to stay paired up. But unfortunately, we actually did have to kind of create new pairs this year because we have a breeding program. So everyone is already predetermined who their partner is. So, and they weren't necessarily in those partnerships. So that was quite hard, breaking them up.
Yeah. And Buddy and Pedro are still here?
They are still here. So Buddy is actually one of the ones that was, his girlfriend is calling, his girlfriend Rivard, and Buddy's right beside. And then Pedro, it's hard to find him. He doesn't have a band right now. He lost his band. But yeah, they're still hanging out. They're not together anymore,
no, they're
I
just
guess
best
you could
friends.
say. Yes, they're very, very good friends. Pedro's in love with his girlfriend Bandaway, and Farai is very protective of Buddy. So
very cute.
Yeah.
So now these are called African penguins, and not to sound like dumb, but you always think of penguins and Antarctica and like a really cold climate. Where do we find an African penguin in the wild?
So these guys are found on the southwestern coast of Africa, just kind of along like the kind of shorelines and beaches and whatnot. So yeah, these guys are adapted to that hotter weather. There's actually, the majority of the penguin species are actually hot kind of climate penguins. There's only about 4 that are actually in that really cold climate.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and Antarctic kind of penguins. So for the majority, they're quite small, like these guys, and they're adapted to the heat. So it's better to be small when it's a kind of a hotter climate.
Yeah, for sure. So now we do have Meet the Keeper sessions here at the Penguins. When's the best time to come check them out?
So we have a Meet the Keeper talk at 12:30 every day. We do a little bit of a talk on the penguins. We introduce kind of everybody, and then we'll do a feeding, so people get to see that. And we also answer questions at the end.
And we have some fish right now, don't we? Can hook them up with a little bit?
That's right, yeah.
So what do they eat? Can you show me what they eat there?
Just grab my gloves that are there. So they're eating capelin and smelt. So this would be the smelts, and then the capelin is more of a grayish color. So, and everyone has their own preference. Some of them will spit out a certain type of fish. They're very picky. So I'll just throw on my gloves here. Just give me 1 second. So yeah, some of them don't really care about the fish. It really just depends, or they go through like seasonal fish preferences as well.
Yeah.
In the wild, this is pretty similar. They eat things like sardines, anchovies, pilchards. They also occasionally eat squid. We did try squid here at the zoo, but that didn't really work out.
No, too picky.
Yeah, no, not into it.
Awesome. Okay, well, I will let you get some fish in there for them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss it over the pool and see if they come. So we'll see how that goes. So come on, guys. Unfortunately, they're being very territorial, so we'll see if they go for it. There we go.
Right in there. Boom.
So here they come.
Winner.
So that's Shaker and Flap right there. They're a pair. That's Colby just getting in the water.
Oh, missed it. So they spend the most of their day kind of just like hanging on land and swimming?
Sort of, yeah, that, and they'll do a lot of fishing as well, and in the wild, in the ocean, like they're in that ocean all the time, in that cold water current there, so.
Okay. Well, Elyse, thank you so much for taking the time to show us the penguins and learn more about them. It's been a slice.
Oh, okay. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we rejoin the studio.
Yeah.